This video was made possible through a grant from the Haas Corporation. The Geek Group would like to thank Haas for their continued support in helping encourage innovation in design and manufacturing in America. Hi there guys, my name is Chris Bowden and welcome to the Geek Group. I am here with the great and wonderful Casey Higley, Director of CNC for the Geek Group. And today we get to talk about probes.
Yes, we do.
Now, what are probes? Why do people ever want to do this?
So the machine has no idea where the tool is in
Yeah,
space.
but we program that in with offsets.
Yeah.
The cool thing with a sheet of paper, old school, like that's why guys keep like a rolling paper in there, like an old zigzag, and like, oh, it's perfect.
And they know it's exactly 2,000ths of an inch. Yeah.
So why do we have to do this if we can do all this manually?
Well, this is a lot quicker, and despite how accurate old school machinists are, this is a lot more accurate.
Okay, so this is the cigarette paper method, but for the 21st century.
Yes, exactly.
And how accurate is this?
To within 1/10.
Okay, so this is accurate. Okay. Now, we're doing half of this today. We're doing tool offsets.
Yes.
So, but there's a totally different probe thing for work offsets.
Yeah.
And they come as a set. They work together. Okay, so how do we do this?
Well, first of all, we need to tell the machine an approximate value for how long the tool is.
Okay, so
we're going to do that.
From here?
Yeah, from right about there.
So how approximate? Do we just say, oh, it's about 3 inches, or?
We need to be within about 1/4 of an inch.
Okay, so that's really approximate for your world.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So we'll place top edge against the spindle, and then we'll measure from the back side here, an approximate value about there. So that's about 2.75 inches.
Okay.
So then we go to our offset page on the control,
Okay.
and we'll need to put that value into the approximate length in the probing options.
Okay.
So that's 2.75 right in.
Now we have to give it a rough diameter, but that we should really know because we know that's a 2-inch shell mill.
Right, it's
Okay.
a 2-inch shell mill, so 2 points. And then it wants to know how far down it should go from the probe face when it's touching off our diameter. And
In case the diameter, because like a shell mill is thicker at the bottom and it goes up in the middle, or?
Right, and some tools have like round inserts, or they've got tapered inserts on the side, and so you're going to need to go down farther to get an actual diameter on it.
Okay, so this is how far up the shaft to go.
Right,
on the
exactly.
Okay.
And then for high precision work and probing in the middle of a program, you can put in a tolerance value.
Hang on a minute. This thing's measuring the diameter of the tool.
Yeah.
Why would it need a tolerance? Let me see if I got this right. If you tell it it's a 2-inch shell mill, and it's coming in at like 20 thou under, it's going to say, oh, you're way out of spec.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense. So this is a way of measuring. You can use this as like a subroutine in the middle of a program.
Yes.
To go and check, is my tool worn out yet?
Yeah, exactly.
That's really cool.
And then we need to tell it what sort of operation it's going to be doing for probing. 0 is no tool probing. So if we told it to probe every tool in the carousel.
You can do that?
Yeah.
Do you have to go in ahead of time and say with your approximate diameters and everything?
Yeah, you have to get approximate lengths and approximate diameters. But this is, again, for high precision. If you use it for a day and then you wanted to reprobe all of those tools that you used, you can go through the carousel.
And it just does the whole thing on its own?
Go through the whole
That's
thing,
really
does
cool.
the tool changes and everything.
Okay.
And then next would be number 1, which is length probing with rotation for something like an end mill.
Okay.
Where you don't necessarily need to know the diameter,
Okay.
or you don't need high precision for the diameter.
My guess would be I see you've got 4 different things. Length probing with rotation is for like end mills and that where you're cutting on the side.
Yeah.
And they go in and out. And then length probing, number 2 is length probing non-rotating, which I'm guessing would be for like a drill.
Yeah.
Where you're machining off the end, not the side.
Right, exactly.
Okay. And then you've got 3, which is length and diameter probing with rotation, which is probably what we're going to use here.
Yeah, that's what we're going to use because we want to know the exact length and diameter of the tool.
And then it just tells you what to do to pick.
Exactly, it gives you options
Okay.
and instructions. So we'll hit what it says, hit tool offset measure, key right
Now,
here.
do we have to tell this, like, because it says over here there's a picture of a drill. Do we have to tell this what kind of thing we have in there, like whether it's a tap or a drill or end mill or whatever?
Yes, actually
Okay.
we do. So, farther back in the offset page,
So this
You
is
get
hidden
tool
on a
type.
totally different page.
it's on a totally different page.
Okay. And we want a shell mill.
We want shell mill. That's
Okay.
number 3. We'll hit enter. And we want to tell it the number of flutes as well. This has
5, 4?
4 flutes.
4 flutes, okay.
So 4 F1, and that's the number of flutes.
And then it knows diameter and all that because I got
Right.
that from before.
And then another page here, you see that the geometry for the tools has not been probed yet, so it doesn't actually know anything
Okay.
about them. We go all the way
Now what's
through.
there's some stuff in here, like coolant position?
Yeah, we have the positional coolant unit on our
Oh, okay.
machine, and that number determines where the nozzle is positioned when it pulls up that tool.
Okay, but that has nothing to do with the offsets.
No, nothing to do with the
I saw it in here, I'm like, oh, hey, okay.
So again, we're ready.
And I see you've got the tolerance thing in there, so you can say if this is -5, you know, if it's more than 5 thou out, then throw it away by anyone, and I'm guessing this would throw an alarm or something.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right, so tool offset measure. Nothing happens automatically without the doors closed.
Okay, it's probably a good idea.
Yeah. So now we have options again. We can probe this selected tool automatically. We can do manual probing.
Now, what's manual probing? Is that like doing this all in
Very
hand
infrequently
job?
used, yeah.
Okay.
We can probe the tools for breaker wear, and that's where that tolerance value comes in.
And that's where you would take, I'm guessing this will generate code and you can just copy and paste that code into your program right on the machine?
Yeah, it actually tells you right here. So we
Oh,
can
hey,
either
look
run
at
it,
that. Yeah, okay.
or we can insert to copy it, the probe code to the clipboard and
Okay.
put it into a program.
So there's a million different options with
Oh,
this.
yeah.
It can get way complicated really fast.
Yes.
Okay.
As we said, probe all all tools, everything in the carousel, or we can just cancel.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead and hit cycle start because we want to probe this tool.
Okay. And then magic happens?
Yeah.
Oh, it's running a whole program, just dumping stuff in here?
Mm-hmm.
This is neat.
Gets to an approximate length and starts going down, and about here it'll start spinning counterclockwise
Why does it go backwards?
because it cuts in the clockwise direction.
So it wants to make sure not to cut the little probe.
Exactly.
Okay. Is it doing, oh, it does it twice.
Coarse and then fine.
Okay.
It'll
And
do
now
the
we're
same
going from
thing.
the side.
And in this case, it'll come from the side twice, coarse and fine on one side, then go to the other side so they can get an average.
But it's rotating.
Right.
Wouldn't that be the same number no matter which side you're on?
I suppose.
Okay. I'm sure there's a reason for it, but I'm kind of curious what it is. So every time that beeps, that's when it's actually touching.
Yes. It's done. It goes home.
That's
and-
it.
Yeah, that's it. That's all there is to it.
Okay,
There's
so
no paper in the middle. You're not.
now
fiddling
did the
with anything.
numbers in here change, or
The numbers in this page did not change.
but
However,
somewhere there's crazy accurate numbers for exactly?
so our approximate value was 2.75 inches. The
Okay.
actual distance is 2.9610.
Okay.
So we were within that about a quarter inch.
So when this says this is a 2-inch diameter mill,
Well, that's
it's
length.
actually, yeah, but I'm going over
Okay.
here on the, this is, I'm guessing what the geometry is because I see diameter up here. This is actually 2.0037 inches.
Right.
So it's just a hair bigger. And it's
Just a little bit.
And it knows.
But it
that-
matters.
Wow. That's really neat.
Yeah.
So that's 2.37 thousandths. That's
Right.
3.7 thousandths.
Right.
Yeah. That's neat. All right. So
That's all there is to it.
it's that easy.
It's that easy.
That's so cool. Now, how does this is gonna sound dumb? This is what I think, and tell me if I'm wrong, because I'm just watching this. All right.
Okay.
So what's happening is the tool comes down and it touches the little post, and it isn't like electrically conductive. It's actually the post is being displaced. It's actually shoving it around. Really, really, really tiny.
Yeah.
And this little thing is on its own, and it's got to be waterproof and all that. There's no wires or anything into or out of this.
Right.
So this is, I saw a little light shine on the back here.
Yeah.
And that's sending it up to the Renishaw box mounted up there. Now that's got wires and stuff.
Right.
So I'm guessing this is done optically, like this is blinking
Yes,
a little
is.
code, and that's got like a camera in it.
Yes, it does.
And then that talks to the computer in the machine.
Very quickly.
Very, very quickly.
Because things are moving at the same time as it's sending that information.
And it has to know really accurately where this is sitting. So this isn't something that you could move in and out of your machine all the time.
Oh, no, no, no.
This is installed and you leave it alone.
Yes.
Okay. So you never touch this, you never move this. That isn't really a big deal. That because
Right.
as long as it can see it, it's fine. But you never, never, ever move this.
If you have no choice but to move it, you have to completely recalibrate it.
Can that be done by the end user, or is that a you call your Haas factory rep thing?
We've actually done it. We've actually recalibrated it here.
Okay.
So it can be done by the end user, and you use the work probe to do it.
Oh, okay. That's the other one. Okay. And we get to talk about that in the next video.
Yes, we do.
Okay. Is there any other things that we should talk about on probing, or is that pretty much how it works? Can we try it again?
We can try it again. How about a different tool?
Yeah. Pick one. Can we do something hard? I've got some really, I've got scary, gnarly tools over here.
We're doing tool number 2.
What's 2? Is
It's
it cool?
It's a spot drill.
It's like the most boring thing ever.
Yeah, well.
I want to do... Okay, so spot drill and, center drill. Right?
No.
That's a center drill.
No.
It's not a center
There's
drill?
a difference.
What's the difference between a center drill and a spot
Center drill is made for a live center on a lathe.
Okay.
It has a 60-degree taper with
Yes.
a small flat for the point of the center to go.
Okay.
A spot drill is normally 90 degrees.
Spot drill.
Yes.
Okay. So, can I do this?
Yeah, sure, go
All
ahead.
right. So we have to know, the first thing we have to know is the length. So this is where we get to caliper trick? All right. See if I can get this right. So we measure off the face.
Yes.
Because that gives us a rough to the dog. We go down here. We're about 3.728. So
All right.
about 3 3/4.
Sure.
So I go over here and type. Do I just type or?
You'll need to be highlighted over the right thing. So right now we're in the probe type, so we need to scroll over to approximate length.
And then I just type 3.72.
Sure.
Okay, and then enter.
Yes. And scroll
All right.
over one. Approximate
Now-
diameter we don't need, but it's 3/8. So
Okay, just because you just know that.
yeah, just because I know that.
Okay, what's the decimal for 3/8?
0.375.
Okay, so just 0.375. Enter.
Now we're not doing any diameter on this one, so edge measure is unimportant.
Okay, so I just leave it at 0.
Just leave it at 0.
And tolerance is 0. Type is length probing rotating.
We
or
don't need
length
to
and
rotate
diameter. Okay, so length probing non-rotating or length
Correct.
and diameter?
Just length.
Okay.
So number 2.
2. Enter. Now I have to go to the other page and tell it what type and all that. How do I get to the other page?
Just continue scrolling with the cursor.
Oh, we're right there. All right.
So it will be the next page beyond that.
Oh, I just keep going? Flutes.
Has 2.
Okay. And I want to pick center drill?
Yes.
Okay.
Despite the fact that it's a spot drill, yes, you want to pick center drill.
Well, I'm looking at the pictures and I'm like, that's the closest one to what I have. So 5.
Yep.
All right. Now how
Continue
do I
scrolling
just keep going?
and go all the way to where you change the probe type.
Here?
And now you've got the options.
Okay.
So
So
now,
press tool offset measure to start automatic probing options. And that's
yes.
this button here?
Mm-hmm.
Probe selected tool, cycle start. Now, green means go, so when I do this, thing's going to happen.
Oh yeah,
I'm not going to break anything, right?
not to my knowledge.
Okay. That has never failed me, ever. I've just learned it's always a good idea to ask before you push the big green button.
Oh yeah.
So, So now it's gonna, we're coming in on approach.
Mm-hmm. And all this one's gonna do is hit. That's it.
You could really see the difference between the coarse and the fine on that. Like on the boom, and the whole thing moves, and then the fine, it doesn't even move.
Right.
I'm sure it does, but not perceptibly.
Right.
And I'm done.
That's
I'm
it.
probed.
That's all you needed.
So now we have 2 tools.
Yes.
We can make anything.
We can make anything that uses 2 tools.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, cool. Is there anything else we should talk about in this?
No, I think we've
much
pretty
it.
well covered
Yeah.
it. It's
All right.
very, very simple.
That's really cool. And we'll be back in the next video where we get to talk about work probes.
Oh,
with
yeah. That's
the
a lot of
super
fun.
rugged, never break it ever probe shaft that comes out of the spindle that nobody ever breaks.
I broke it the first time I used it.
But we've gotten a lot better now.
We have. Yeah.
Okay, and you've come a long way. So,
yeah.
you guys need to comment and let KC know how he did in his very first video. This is his first time, and he's not at all terrified of being on camera. He's completely comfortable.
Yes.
It's awesome. So, you teach the classes here.
I do.
So, if you guys are interested in learning more about this stuff, you can come to this lab here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and take one of our awesome CNC classes that are taught by KC, and he will teach you how to make steam engines. This one has your name on it.
Well, I've got to show them.
So this is the Model 2 steam engine. We have a whole series of steam engines, and they are all being designed and built by Casey and his awesome team. Yeah. And it's a really cool class. You can actually come here and learn how to use this exact machine and our giant lathe and do all kinds of fun stuff. It's really cool. And they do them in brass for some of them so that you can actually see things happening because we can cut this without coolant, and that's a really fun time. Yeah. Learn more at thegeekgroup.org. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe, and as always, we'll see you next time.
The Geek Group would like to extend our deepest gratitude to the Gene Haas Foundation for making this program possible. Thanks to their generous contribution, we are able to train and inspire machinists all around the globe.
Operating the CNC machines in this video risks personal injury and mechanical damage. Hazards may include electricity, untrained operation, airborne toxins, flying debris and noise, fire and explosions, poor shop upkeep, sharp tooling, projectiles, loose clothing, inadequate clamping, automatic operation, automatic tool changer, unsupported bar, over-tightened steady rest, lack of enclosure, and impact.
This video was made possible by a grant from the Future Girl Foundation.
This video was made possible by thousands of private donations from members and viewers like you. Please visit thegeekgroup.org for more information on how you can donate and become a part of our dreams of Avalon.
I'm Congressman Robert Wexler. I have the privilege of representing the 19th Congressional District located in Broward and Palm Beach counties in Florida. I represent a group of Floridians that take their civic responsibility very seriously. And I, too, want to thank the Floridians that are here today that care so passionately about this election. Our Florida Democratic voters are frustrated by the decisions that have been made that diminished our primary. And we today must address this frustration and reconcile with them to improve the climate for Democrats in Florida. The Obama presidential campaign supports a resolution today that will allow the Democratic National Committee, the DNC, to preserve its nominating process and at the same time enable Democrats in Florida to participate in choosing our party's nominee and allow elected delegates from Florida to be represented at the Democratic National Convention. We understand that when the Rules Committee reviewed the Florida primary last year, that the committee was acting in good faith to prevent other states from moving prior to Super Tuesday. We understand the Rules Committee goal of acting to prevent a stampede of states to hold early primaries and thus cause chaos in the previously sanctioned primary schedule. Following a DNC application process, the Rules Committee had selected the states of South Carolina and Nevada to join Iowa and New Hampshire in holding early contests to diversify the beginning of the nominating process to include African Americans, Hispanics, organized labor, and voters in the South and the West. Adding diversity to the early nominating contest was a worthy goal, and this committee is to be commended for selecting Nevada and South Carolina to the early calendar. Florida, too, wanted to add its voice to the early calendar for the sake of our voters, who also wanted to play an important role in the process. I fervently wish that Florida also had chosen to apply to be considered as an early voting state. As a large, diverse, and important state, Florida certainly deserves to play a key role in our nominating process. Unfortunately, our state acted outside the rules of this committee, and you subsequently imposed penalties on our state for moving our primary prior to Super Tuesday. We cannot reverse the fact that this election was held months ago without a compliant delegate selection plan. Both Senator Obama and Senator Clinton pledged not to campaign in Florida, and both agreed at the time that the primary would not count. This contest was not a normal primary election. Senator Obama's decision to respect your rules certainly affected the outcome of the primary in Florida. He was not as well known as Senator Clinton, and not campaigning in the state undoubtedly hurt his vote totals. We must also remember that the presidential candidates were told by this committee that Florida's noncompliance with delegate selection rules meant that the delegate selection and presidential candidate approval process for delegates was non-binding. The Obama campaign respected this Rules Committee policy. I also want to address a canard I have seen in some reports concerning our primary, that Senator Barack Obama was somehow the cause of our state's failure to properly hold a primary during the window for such contests. This is completely untrue. There was ample opportunity during 2007 to consider an alternative nominating process to be held within the approved window, which was encouraged by the DNC and this committee's leadership. But that course of action was not taken. Then, late in the spring of 2008, as the primary season was coming to a close, the possibility of holding a second primary was raised. The Democratic leadership in Florida discussed this possibility, but ultimately rejected it. The entire Democratic United States House delegation from Florida, both supporters of Senator Clinton and supporters of Senator Obama and the uncommitted issued a public statement calling upon the Florida Democratic Party not to hold a second primary due to strong concern that a hasty election could not be properly implemented under the circumstances. All of us believed that the last thing Florida Democrats needed was to end up before this committee with 2 disputed elections instead of 1. I have here the statement from our House delegation to our state Democratic Party chair, informing her of our unanimous opposition to holding a second presidential primary this year. I'm happy to submit this to the committee if it pleases the chairs. Senator Obama was in no way responsible for this decision by Florida leaders, and I am here today before you to testify to this fact and answer any questions on that subject. Keeping all of this in mind, we must find a way as Democrats, as members of the same political party, seeking to bring change to the ways of Washington to resolve this situation so that Florida may participate in this historic nominating process that will soon come to a close. The standing rules of our party provide for a standard 50% reduction of the pledged delegates from a state whose primary or caucus is scheduled earlier than allowed under the delegate selection rules. This is the identical penalty that is provided for under the National Republican Party rules and was in fact imposed on Florida Republicans. John Ostman, our Democratic National Committee man from Florida, has petitioned this committee to reconsider its decision to increase the standard 50% penalty to a 100% reduction in delegates and to reinstate 50% of the Florida delegation. As the designated representative of the Obama campaign and as an elected representative from the state of Florida, I ask this committee to restore Florida to representation at the Democratic National Convention in accordance with the Ostman petition. This will involve This action will involve extra delegates, up to 19 delegates, being awarded to Senator Clinton. Senator Obama should be commended for his willingness to offer this extraordinary concession in order to promote Senator Obama.
Please do as this committee is doing and show respect to all of our speakers here today. Congressman.
Senator Obama offers this concession in order to promote reconciliation with Florida's voters. Please, committee members, take notice of what you have heard today. Senator Bill Nelson came up here and applauded and endorsed the Ostman petition. State Senator Joyner applauded the Ostman petition. I'm the representative of the Obama campaign. I'm endorsing the Ostman petition. If we in Florida can get it together and be unified, if we could keep our eye on the ball in November, so can you. Let's get this done today. Ladies and gentlemen, I also ask that you please reinstate the unpledged superdelegates from Florida with a partial half vote for each, the same as for the pledged delegates. This would be fair and promote unity amongst Florida Democrats and the National Party. We are now well past the 11th hour in this year's nominating process. For the sake of the voters in Florida, and for the sake of our prospects as a party in the November election, it is time for the campaigns and the Rules Committee to reach a dignified and high-minded resolution that brings Florida within our selection process and begins the unification of the Democratic Party in Florida, in Michigan, and throughout this nation. We are here, the Obama campaign, to participate in this unifying process and commend you for reconsidering the reinstatement of Florida's delegates. Thank you for the opportunity to address you today.